Morning to all my dear students and welcome to Online Benchers by Exampur. I request you all to quickly join the session so that I can start the proceedings for today. A very good morning to all of you and most welcome to the class, most welcome to the session so that I can start the proceedings for today. Everybody. So those people who are live on the session, I request them to please share the session with their friends so that they can come and join the class. Everybody. A very good morning to all. Welcome to the class, welcome to the session and welcome to the current affair for SSC for 23rd of June 2021. All of you. I request you all to please quickly connect with me so that I can start the proceedings for today. Everyone. Kanak Singh, very good morning. Welcome to the class, welcome to the session. How are you? And what about the preparation? How is it going on? You see, it's my request to you all that if possible, please promote the session with your friends, because if you do this, it will be a great advantage for all of you and for me as well, that I will be able to cater my knowledge to most of the people. And very few channels in India right now go with the current affairs, that too in the English medium. So it's my request to you all that please share the session with your friends and ask them to join and please enjoy the benefits of the class. So are you finding any difficulty in understanding any of the part? You can simply discuss with me. If not, definitely we will proceed. We will simply go ahead. Deepika Goyalji, very good morning and Jai Hind. Welcome to the class. Welcome to the session. Okay. So without wasting the time, let's begin the session. Let's begin the class. Let's start the class. First of all, the first news for today is that CEU, Central European University, Open Society Prize for 2021 has been conferred to the, or has been given to the women in picture, and she is none other than the former Health Minister of Kerala, that is KK Shailja. This woman, KK Shailja, who is also a member of Legislative Assembly in the 15th Kerala Legislative Assembly, she has been conferred with the CEU Open Society Prize for 2021, and she is the former आप कनक सिंह समझा तो सकते हैं, बट द थिंग इज दैट कि जो सुबह 8 बजे वाली सेशन होती है वो प्योर, दैट इज प्योरली बाइलिंगुअल, और द मॉर्निंग 7 सेशन इट इज कंप्लीटली इन इंग्लिश मीडियम. दैट इज व्हाई दो सेशंस अलग अलग प्लान किए गए. अदरवाइज आई कुड हैव डन इट कि भाई दोनों को मैं एक ही साथ मर्ज कर देता. रिमेंबर वन थिंग, फॉर्मर हेल्थ मिनिस्टर ऑफ केरल केके शैलजा has been awarded with the Central European University Open Society Prize for 2021. The university's highest honor has been given to her at a virtual convocation of the university's 30th graduation ceremony that was held from Vienna. Remember one thing, KK Shailja is the former health minister of Kerala, and for the year 2021 she has been awarded with the Central European University Prize, Open Society Prize for 2021, and in a ceremony that was held virtually, and it was a 30th, you can say, graduation ceremony of the Central European University that was held from Vienna. And what is Vienna? Remember, Vienna is the capital of Austria. KK Shailja has been awarded the Open Society Prize 2021 for her community-based public health work and determined leadership at saving lives during the pandemic. And this important award, Central European University Open Society Prize to KK Shailja, has been conferred, has been given for her community-based public health services that she performed during the COVID pandemic in the state of Kerala. KK Shailja is an Indian politician. She is the former health minister of Kerala from 2016 to 2021, and presently she is a member of the Legislative Assembly who represented the Matanur constituency at the 15th Kerala Legislative Assembly election, and she is also elected to the 15th Legislative Assembly from which constituency? You will say Matanur. Remember, this is the constituency in Kerala which is represented by KK Shailja. She is also a member of the Central Committee of the CPIM. You know one thing, in Kerala, we have the left parties or the Communist Party ruling from since beginning. So she is a member of the Central Committee of the CPI as well. The Central European University was founded by George Soros in 1991. This CEU, Central European University, it was established by George Soros in 1991. And who was George Soros? This George Soros was a Hungarian-born politician, political activist and philanthropist. Philanthropist means those people who work for the humanity, who work for the mankind, for their development, for their social upliftment. That is called the philanthropist. Human loving is philanthropist. So George Soros, who established the Central European University in 1991, was a Hungarian-born political activist and also a philanthropist who instituted the university with an objective to train future scholars, politicians, professionals, and civil society leaders who will build open and democratic society. So remember one thing, the main objective behind the establishment of Central European University was to train the people, to train the future scholars, politicians, professionals, and the social workers and the social leaders who will build the open and democratic societies. Am I clear to you? So remember one thing, the former health minister of Kerala, K.K. Selja, has been awarded with the Open Society Prize for 2021 by the Central European University, which was established in 1991 by George Soros. All clear, all done? Did you memorize all the points? Please do tell me. Everything is clear to you all? Please respond to me and please keep sharing the session with your friends. Now, the man on the screen is none other than former Deputy Chairman of Planning Commission, Montek Singh Ahluwalia. Remember, he is an Oxford graduate in economics, and at the age of 28 years, he became one of the youngest, you can say, employee of the World Bank. At the age of 28, he became one of the youngest employee of the World Bank. A high-level advisory group has been formed by the World Bank and IMF. Remember one thing, this World Bank and IMF has formed a high-level advisory committee, a high-level advisory group. And in this high-level advisory group, Montek Singh Ahluwalia has been included. I told you he's an Oxford graduate. He was a bureaucrat in Indian government, and also he was the former deputy chairman of the, which one you can say, Planning Commission. Remember one thing, the Mr. Ahluwalia has been named as a member of a high-level advisory group that has been formed by the World Bank and IMF in order to deal with the dual crisis which has been threatening the economy due to the climate change and the COVID-19 pandemic. You see, the world at present scenario is basically suffering from dual cancer, or you can say dual crisis, or the dual problem of climate change as well as the COVID-19 pandemic. And due to the worst situation of climate change and COVID-19 pandemic, the economic growth and development around the globe has been decreasing very fastly. So this high-level advisory group of the World Bank and IMF has been formed to discuss and to deal with the dual crisis that is threatening our economy, that is threatening the global economy due to the continuous climate change situation and COVID-19 pandemic. And remember one thing, World Bank and IMF, they are called as the Bretton Woods twin. You might have heard about this, Bretton Woods twin. Bretton Woods twin, because both these organizations were formed by the Bretton Woods Conference. The main objective of the high-level advisory group is to help secure a strong recovery and set a path for green, resilient, and inclusive development over the coming decade. The main objective behind this high-level advisory group is to find a way, is to suggest a way, is to mitigate the situation for a green development, inclusive development over the coming decade. This high-level advisory group will work to ensure sustainable and inclusive recovery and growth. It means overall development is required. This Montek Singh Ahluwalia, he is an Indian economist and civil servant who served earlier as the Deputy Chairman of the Planning Commission of India. He had joined the World Bank in 1968 after graduating from the University of Oxford. And at the age of 28 years, he had become the youngest divisional chief in the World Bank's bureaucracy. And he was in charge of the income distribution division. Did you get this? So he's an Oxford graduate. He's an Indian economist and also the former civil servant in Indian government who also served as the deputy chairman of Planning Commission. And in 1968, after graduating from the University of Oxford at the age of 28, he became the youngest divisional chief in the World Bank's bureaucracy, and he was in charge of the income distribution division. This is a biography of Montek Singh Ahluwalia, who was a very close aide to former Prime Minister of our country, Dr. Manmohan Singh. Undoubtedly, he's a great economist, undoubtedly. Did you get this point? Any doubt, any query? If you want to ask, and remember, World Bank and IMF, both are headquartered in Washington, D.C., and they were established in order to secure the financial stability around the globe, and they are also called as the Bretton Woods twin. Please don't forget about that. All done? Okay, let's move to the news number 3 for today. And this is about a hybrid. This is about a high yielding variety of watermelon which has been named as Yellow Gold 48. This is a new species of the watermelon which is called yellow watermelon, which has been introduced commercially in order to increase the, you can simply say, economic benefits of the farmers. In order to increase the, you can say, earning capacity of the farmers, this Yellow Gold 48, a new species of the watermelon called yellow watermelon, has been introduced globally for the commercial purpose. German agrochemicals company, or the major Bayer. Bayer is basically a German agrochemical company or an agrochemical organization. It has commercially launched first ever yellow watermelon variety that is called Yellow Gold 48. So if the question comes, what is Yellow Gold 48? So you will say it's the first ever developed variety or the species of the yellow watermelon, which has been named as Yellow Gold 48. In India, under Seminis brand, yellow watermelon has been developed from superior germplasm under the Bayer's global research and development effort. So it's the German agrochemical company Bayer which has led to the development of Yellow Gold 48, which is the first ever watermelon variety. Remember one thing, Yellow Gold 48 is having high yield and income potential, which will empower the watermelon growers to diversify into new categories. I already told you that the main objective behind the development of Yellow Gold 48 is to increase the productivity of the watermelon and also to enhance and increase the income potential of those farmers who are involved in the plantation of the watermelon. So please do remember that. So this Yellow Gold 48, which is having a high yield income, which is having a high yielding capacity and also the potential to increase the income to empower the watermelon growers, have been launched in India. Remember one thing, it will also help in growing demand for exotic fruits. It is the first of its kind yellow fleshed watermelon which have moderate to good plant type. It has dark green rind with slight stripes and orange yellow flesh color. So remember, this is the description of this particular watermelon. From the outside, if you look it from the outside, it has dark green rind with the slight stripes. It looks like the same watermelon that we consume today, but when you cut it into the pieces, it will look like yellow fleshed watermelon which have moderate to good plant type. Am I clear to you? So what is Yellow Gold 48? You will say it's a new variant of the watermelon which is yellowish in color. All clear, all done? Any query, any doubt? Please do raise the question. All of you. And please keep sharing the session with your friends. Please do it. I want that at least 50 people should watch it, minimum. I don't have much of the greed, but I do have some greed, because if I'm making out an effort early in the morning, I also deserve to be watched by people. That is why it's a request to you all. Okay, let's discuss about the next important news for today. Odisha has become the only state in India to have all the three crocodile species? Please do remember one thing. This can be a good question in the examination or in the exams. Which is the only Indian state in which is home to all the three crocodile species? This can be a good question. Which is the only state in India which is the home to all the three species of the crocodiles? What we will say, it's the Orissa. So Orissa has become the only state to have all the three crocodile species. Am I clear to you? Remember one thing, it has become the only state to have all the three kinds of crocodile species in its Mahanadi river. So in the Mahanadi river of Orissa, you can find all the three species of the crocodile. The three kinds of species includes freshwater gharials, muggers, and saltwater crocodiles. These are the three species. Which one? Freshwater gharials, then we have muggers, and then we have saltwater crocodiles. The reptile freshwater gharials are critically endangered species, and this is the first time that Orissa has been naturally nesting of the species since they were first introduced in its rivers back in 1975. So remember one thing, these freshwater gharials were put into the Mahanadi in 1975 in the Orissa, and this has been into the critically endangered list of the International Union for Conservation of Nature and Natural Resources. So in the IUCN Red List book, this has been categorized under the in critically endangered category. And this is for the first time after 1975 that these freshwater gharials are being naturally nested or naturally put into a breeding process. The gharials are amongst the longest of all living crocodile species. This is a very good question that can be asked, which is the longest of all living crocodile species? You can say it's the gharials. They are also known as fish eating species. They are well adapted to catching fish due to their long and thin snout and 110 sharp interlocking teeth. So remember one thing, the gharials which we look on the TV screen, which we look on the in the zoo when you go and visit them. So the gharials with a sharp teeth, interlocking teeth, they are the freshwater gharials. Do remember one thing. And they are largely dependent on which one? Fishes for their livelihood. So they are fish eating species. So freshwater gharials are fish eating species. Then we have saltwater crocodiles. They have been listed as least concerned on the IUCN Red List since 1996. They are native to saltwater habitats and brackish wetlands from India's east coast across the Southeast Asia. So these saltwater crocodiles can be found in the brackish wetlands as well as simply remember one thing, swampy lands. These saltwater crocodiles are mostly found in those habitats where you can find the swampy water. Swampy water. Brackish means the water which is having the soil mixed with it. The water which is having soil mixed with it is considered under the which one? Which category? Brackish category. So remember one thing, these saltwater crocodiles are basically found or are native to the which one? You can say salt water, obviously, as well as brackish wetlands. And this is available from India's east coast across the Southeast Asia. Is that clear? And muggers, these have been listed as vulnerable on the IUCN Red List since 1982. They inhabit marshes, lakes, rivers, and artificial ponds and can also walk on land in search of suitable water bodies during the summer season. So muggers can be seen in water as well as it can even walk on the land as well. And it is mostly found in the marshes, that is the swampy areas, lakes, rivers, and it can also be found easily in the artificial pond. So they can sustain their livelihood in these ecosystems, that is marshes, lakes, rivers, and artificial ponds. So freshwater gharials are fish eating. They are the longest of all living crocodiles. And remember one thing, they have a very well developed adaptation towards the fish catching due to their long and thin snout. And the saltwater crocodiles have been listed as the least concern on the IUCN Red List. And these are native to the saltwater habitats and brackish wetlands. And muggers have been listed as vulnerable since 1982. And they can be found in the marshes, lakes, rivers, and artificial ponds. Now, the next important news for today is that Laurel Hubbard, it has become the first transgender Olympian. This is a very important news. Laurel Hubbard, first trans Olympian. Let's discuss about them. About the Laurel Hubbard. Remember one thing, New Zealand Olympic Committee had selected weightlifter Laurel Hubbard to contest the women's plus 87 category. Weightlifter will be the first transgender athlete to compete at the Olympics. So the first transgender athlete to compete at the Olympics is Laurel Hubbard from New Zealand. Do remember, Laurel Hubbard from New Zealand has become the first transgender athlete to compete or to participate at the Olympics level. The weightlifter had competed in men's weightlifting competition before gender transition in 2013. In 2015, International Olympic Committee issued guidelines to allow any transgender athlete to compete as women on the condition that their testosterone levels are below 10 nanomoles per liter for at least 12 months before they take part in the first competition. So remember one thing, when in 2013, do remember one thing, when in 2013, Laurel Hubbard first participated in the weightlifting competition, he was considered into the men's weightlifting. Now in 2015, there is a guideline that has been released by the International Olympic Committee, which has issued that any transgender athlete can compete as a woman on the condition that their testosterone levels are below 10 nanomoles per liter for at least 12 months before they take part in the first competition. Remember one thing, Laurel Hubbard is a New Zealand weightlifter who has been selected to compete at 2020 Summer Olympics. Remember one thing, he is from which country? You can say New Zealand, and this Hubbard is a New Zealand weightlifter who has been selected to compete at 2020 Summer Olympics. She will be the first transgender athlete to compete in Olympic Games after gender transition. So this is very, very important for you. Harsha Chaudhary, very good morning and welcome to the class. Welcome to the session. How are you? All clear, all done. So this was a news related to the Laurel Hubbard. Laurel Hubbard, the first transgender from New Zealand or from the entire world, she belongs to New Zealand, to compete in the Olympic competition. Next important news for today is that the 7 sins of being a mother. Tahira Kishorana. She is a filmmaker and she is the author of a book, The 7 Sins of Being a Mother. Please remember this. Filmmaker and writer Tahira Kishorana has announced her upcoming book about motherhood that has been titled The 7 Sins of Being a Mother. Please do remember one thing. So the filmmaker writer Tahira Kishorana has announced that she is coming with a new book about the motherhood, and it has been titled The 7 Sins of Being a Mother. The 7 Sins of Being a Mother. This is her 5th book and the second she wrote amid the pandemic. This is the 5th book by her and second she wrote in the pandemic. The writer has also penned books like Cracking the Code, My Journey in Bollywood, and Sold Out. Apart from books, she has also directed segment in Netflix anthology titled Feels Like Ish, and has also written and directed a short film named Pinny. So she has into her kitty the books like Cracking the Code, My Journey in Bollywood, and Sold Out. Apart from books, she has also directed a segment in Netflix anthology titled Feels Like Ish, and has also written and directed a short film that is named Pinny. All clear, all done? Are you all enjoying the class or are you finding any difficulty in it? Please feel free to Please always feel free to give me your suggestions. Are you enjoying the class or having any issue or any problem? Now, the first question for today is that which of the following fruit called yellow gold 48 has been commercially launched in India by the German company Bayer's? Which of the following fruit called yellow gold 48 has been commercially launched in India? Is it yellow watermelon? Is it yellow cucumber? Is it yellow melon? Is it yellow berries? Which of the following fruit called yellow gold 48 has been commercially launched in India? This is the question for you. Is it A, yellow watermelon? Is it B, yellow cucumber? Is it C, yellow melon? Or is it D, yellow berries? Thank you, Sangeeta. Thank you so much. And please do one thing, all of you. Do share the session with your friends. Please do it. It is needed by you people. So it is a yellow watermelon, developed by Germany, angiosperm form, Bayer's. Next question is that which Indian state has become the only state to have all the 3 crocodile species? Is it A, West Bengal? Is it B, Tamil Nadu? Is it C, Odisha? Or is it D, Maharashtra? Which Indian state has become only state to have all the 3 crocodile species? You can get this PDF from Telegram channel. If you are on the Telegram, you can get it. Which Indian state has become only state to have all the 3 crocodile species? What will you say? It's the which one? You can say it's the Orissa. And which are those 3 species? Freshwater crocodiles, then we have muggers, and saltwater crocodiles. Which Indian personality has been awarded the Central European University Open Society Prize for 2021? The next question is that which Indian personality has been awarded the Central European University Open Society Prize for 2021? Veena George, KK Salja, KT Jalil, या none of these? Gharials, exactly. The salt water is gharial. Absolutely correct. What will say? It's the KK Salja, the former health minister from Kerala, who has been named as a member of a high-level advisory group formed by the World Bank and International Monetary Fund. Who has been named as a member of a high-level advisory group formed by the World Bank and the International Monetary Fund? Is it Raghuram Rajan? Is it Montek Singh Ahluwalia? Is it Samir Kochar? Or is it Subramaniam Ramadurai? It is S. Ramadurai. What will you say? It's the Montek Singh Ahluwalia, the former Deputy Chairman of the Planning Commission, who has written the book The Seven Sins of Being a Mother. It's about the motherhood. The Seven Sins of Being a Mother has been written by which of the following? Is it Sonali Bendre? Is it Poonam Khurana? Is it Tahira Kishorana? Or is it Neena Gupta? Who has written the book The Seven Sins of Being a Mother? The Seven Sins of Being a Mother has been authored by which of the following? Sonali Bendre, Poonam Khurana, Tahira Kishorana, or is it Neena Gupta? Please go for the reply. So what you will say, it's the Tahira Kishorana, the filmmaker as well as the author. So guys, thank you so much for being with me. See you at 8 for the Express 365 on online benches by Exampur. And also you can join me on this channel at 2 p.m. for the borrowed principles of Constitution today. And do remember that you have to follow this particular news tomorrow as well at 7 in the morning. Thank you so much, guys. Bye-bye. Take care and have a great day ahead. Thank you so much, everybody. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye and take care.